It depends on what your business is, what you're uh, going for. Like for me, I use Opus Clip, as I was talking about, and I use a custom trained GPT when necessary. I don't rely on it too much because that is a trap people can fall into, especially with written content. People just rely on the AI 100% and don't think for themselves, don't polish things up or edit the end result or anything like that. So that's probably one of the most common and most harmful traps. But I trained a custom GPT on a lot of, not everything I've ever written because that would take forever, but I took 2 or 3 articles of every type from like every source because I've written hundreds of articles out there from being a freelance copywriter and journalist for about 8 years for so many different companies and brands, and then blog posts of my own website copy, my LinkedIn profile, portions of books I've written that are published or ones that are not published yet. I just took as much stuff as possible and trained it on that. Only took a few hours maybe, and then from there, I just whenever I create something with it, I tell it if it did something wrong and to update its programming. And then so it gets a little better every time and it keeps learning. And it's really good for things like, you know, after I publish a podcast, if I want to create some social media posts about it and give a quick overview, I can add my own stuff to that too, but it'll very easily condense, an hour long conversation just by giving it you know, the either the full transcript or whatever the generated um, what do you call overview description was, and then I can add a few sentences of my own, like we talked about this and this, and I want to emphasize that, and it can just create really quickly in my voice very well, you know, a couple sentences, some bullet points, things like that to that just allow me to create social media posts a lot faster. And if you do it right, there's really no way to tell between something generated that way and something that you actually sat down and wrote yourself. Because if you just use the generic chat GPT or something like that, then you get a very generic response. But if you want something to be in your voice, you're going to have to train it on stuff that you've done.